welcome back to the final installment of the Death Head Dice 2012 Spring Friendly Tournament. We're into the final round, so it's Orks versus Orks Part 3. On to Orks, Spencer's Orks turn 3. So he moves the looted wagon up again, doing his slow and purposeful roll for the Wazdaka. Sorry, for Gazgul, and the Boyz moving up as well. We missed that the first turn, but we've caught it going forward. The Death Coptas are going to move, two of them are going to move 12 inches. Now the Death Copters are going to fire onto the battle wagon. They get 2 shots. Being Twin Link, get to roll again, get 2 hits, and then fail to do anything. Next up, the Looter's going to fire at the bikes. They get 3 shots each. Sorry, 2 shots each, so they get 15 shots. Of those, 5 hit and 3 wound. Managed to fail all 3 saves, so a wound goes against the knob, and 2 of the bikes are removed as casualties. Next up, the looted wagon's going to fire. He hits a hit, but fails to penetrate. And doing a leadership test on the bikes, they fail it, so I use a boss pole to put a wound on the boy, which he fails and removes, and try to do a leadership test again. Fail that one as well. So they fall back 10 inches, yes. And bikes, actually, I believe, should have been 3d6 rather than 2d6. So on to my turn 3. So I'm going to move Wazdaka up towards the looted wagon. I'll move my battle wagon up, nice and close like to the looted wagon, and I'll dump out my Boyz. And I'll move my truck around as well. I'm rolling for the fleeing, because they can't regroup because they're under 25%. So on to shooting. The truck's going to fire with its big shoot. It gets 3 shots, 1 hit, 1 wound. This dice just seemed to sit on its corner for a little bit before finally failing a save, so 1 boy is gone there. Next up, my looters are going to fire at the Death Coptas. They only get 1 shot each, so that's only 10 dice, of which 10 shots, 3 wounds, or 3 hits, 1 wound, and he can't make a save because it's an AP4, so it's 1 wound against the vehicle. Next up, Wazdaka is going to fire at the looted wagon. 4 shots, no hits. Now the Burners are going to let loose on the Ludas, and figured there was 27 hits. Of those 27 hits, 22 wounded and just wiped out the squad altogether. So that brings us to the end of turn 3. So as you can see, my Ludas in the back corner seem to be poking holes in Spencer's army there. The Ludas, or the Burners, took out the squad of Ludas, which removes the chance for retaliation. Spencer still has that fairly sizable squad of Boyd with Gazgul, as well as having the other Death Coptas. So there's still a lot of stuff to go over. So we're on to Spencer's turn 4. So he's moving his Death Coptas around to the rear so he can attack the battle wagon. Gazgul does a slow and purposeful roll and gets 6 inches. Now the Death Copter is going to fire at the back of the battle wagon. They get 2 shots, Twin Link, so he gets 2 hits and rolls double 1s. All he needed was a 2 or better to glance and got double 1s. So next up, the looted wagon is going to fire. The rockets from the looted wagon is going to fire and misses. Next up, the boon gun's going to fire, and it manages to scatter 9 inches. I kind of wanted to see it scatter back onto itself, but it didn't quite happen. So 9 inches meant nothing happened there. The rocket boy is going to fire at the truck. He misses. Now the 1 boy is going to fire at the truck. Gets 2 shots and misses both those. Gazgul's going to fire with his big shooter. Gets 3 shots, 1 hit, and then fails to do anything. Now moving in for assault, the Death Cops are going to try to assault the back of the battle wagon. They get 6 attacks, but because it moved 13 inches, it needed 6s, and it failed to do anything. So we're on to my Orks turn 3. So I'm going to load all my burners back into the battle wagon and turn it around there, and move Wazdak Gutmech up towards the looted tank, looted wagon, and then I'm still rolling to move my guys away there. So my looters are going to fire at the squad of Boyz. They get 2 shots, so there's 20 dice, of which those 20 shots, 7 hit, and all 7 of those wound. Now, the only one who can actually take a save is Gazgul, and he makes his save, but the other 6 wounds are taken against Boyz, and those are removed. Next up, the truck's big shooter's going to fire 3 shots, 1 hit, 1 wound, and he fails, or he fails to save. Next up, the shooter boys are going to fire. They get 22 shots, 9 hits, 7 wounds. Spencer makes 6 of those saves. Only 1 is gone. That's the advantage of using the Boyz. Wazdaka attacks with 4 on his Daka cannon, gets 4 shots, 1 hit, and then fails to do anything. So then he goes in for assault. Now I get 5 automatic hits because the vehicle didn't move last turn. So of those, I got 3 penetrating and 1 glancing. The 3 penetrating hits worked out to 1 immobilized and 2 weapons destroyed. So you take out the big gun on top, as well as the missile launcher close to Wazdaka. The glancing just wound up giving us a crew shaken result. So that brings us to the end of turn 4. At this point, there's still a number of items on the table for both sides. I believe at this point, victory points wise, I've got 3, Spencer has 1. Spencer had the points for the bikes being broken. I've got it for killing off the squad of 10 boys, the 1 squad of Death Coptas, and the Ludas. Still a lot on the table. Gazagul with his boys that are going to threaten the truck there. So click on the link to see part 4. And comment below if you think who's going to take it. I do have the lead in kill points, but it's still got a turn or 2 left to go. As we always ask, click on like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. We've got a Twitter feed, so follow us at DeathHeadDice. And for those BlackBerry users, join the BBM group and join in the conversation there. And once again, any comments, criticisms, suggestions are appreciated. Throw them in the comment section below, and we'll see you in part 4 shortly.